Godzilla Minus One is one of the best films of the year. It is one of the best Godzilla movies ever made. It is a movie so filled with hope, so filled with terror, all in one package that I cannot recommend it highly enough to anybody. You need to see this movie. Godzilla Minus One, it sort of feels like a remake, almost like a side. It's weird to describe because it is a sort of a remake of the story of the original Godzilla from 1954, but it's also more than that. It has this human element to it that is the driving force behind it. Normally, with a movie like this, you go into it and you want to see Godzilla, obviously. And it feels like Godzilla is a background feature almost, but not in a way that's disrespectful, that's, throwing aside that character or that monster. It's a way that feels refreshing. You have the story of a Japanese kamikaze pilot in World War II that doesn't end up doing his duty, and he instead comes back and fakes a machine error on his plane and lands on this island to get his plane repaired. Well, it turns out that Godzilla attacks this little island, and in his cowardice, in his sort of feeling, he doesn't shoot Godzilla with his plane guns and ends up killing almost all of the regiment on this island and goes back to Japan a disgrace. That feeling goes throughout as our main character deals with what he did on the island or didn't do, and has to deal with everything. Along the way, he meets a girl who has an orphan child that they take care of, and they grow into a family. And then Godzilla comes back and starts messing up Tokyo or Japan and marching towards Tokyo. The story of the movie, it's great. It's triumphant, it's exhilarating, it's terrifying, it's all of those things wrapped into one, and it's just such a awesome film. I can't scream enough about this, how great this is. It uses the original music from the first Godzilla movie. When you hear that on these loud, thumping IMAX Dolby speakers in whatever theater you go see this in, you will be pumped. When you hear Godzilla's roar, it is the same roar as the original Godzilla movie. They recorded it painstakingly and got it into this film. It is a celebration of all things Godzilla. It is a celebration of the genre. It is a celebration of Japan and their culture. But it does have criticisms for Japanese culture, Japanese government, and everything. And it's wrapped into this package that is a tight 2-hour movie that doesn't ever feel like it's too long. It doesn't feel like it's not getting enough. You get enough screen time for Godzilla here where it feels like there's enough of it for a big 70th anniversary celebration, but they're not on screen for long enough to where it's like, okay, yeah, I don't need to see Godzilla anymore. This isn't that scary. When Godzilla is destroying cities and just marching like a force of nature, that's where this movie shines. That's where this movie shines with the ensemble cast, with how they portray their characters. It's such a poignant thing in this movie that all of the people trying to stop Godzilla because of US, Soviet Union tensions, stuff like that, Japan's on their own. And it's a group of veterans of World War II that have seen combat, that have seen the worst of humanity, and still want to fight for the future of the generations and all of that. I was emotional watching this movie. There are plenty of emotional scenes. The ending of the film, I felt like I was going to hate it when I was watching it happen, and I was going, this is so cliche, oh my gosh. And then it happens, and it just works. It just works for what the film is, and what you think is going to happen doesn't happen, and it's so beautiful in that moment. And then, of course, it's not a Godzilla movie without a tease of another Godzilla film after this. The movie is beautiful. It was made for $15 million. I hate mentioning what the budget of a movie is because it really shouldn't matter for your enjoyment of the film, but it is astounding how they made this movie look for such a small budget. And Godzilla looks beautiful. The destroyed cities look awful. They look like heinous with just the destruction, and not in a bad way, like it looks fake, in a bad way as in this is a destroyed city, there are people dying. And everything wraps up into Godzilla Minus One. And in a world where everyone is so jaded, everyone is so hateful and just filled with despair, a movie comes along like this that fills you such up with hope and lifts you up and makes you think, well, there might be some bad people out there, there might be some bad stuff out there, but god damn it, we can get through it because the people in this movie got through it. Just the cast, the monster, the sound effects, the visuals, everything about Godzilla Minus One is a triumph of cinema. You owe it to yourself to go see this movie. Go see it in theaters. Go see it in IMAX. Go see it with the loudest speakers possible. The screening I had, they were saying, okay, the movie might be a little loud. The movie is incredibly loud, and for a good reason. You want to hear the rumbling of Godzilla. You want to see the detail of the tail when it lights up to shoot the nuclear fire blast or whatever it is. Oh my God. It is as visceral of a reaction that I can imagine from my body watching it as I did in 2014 when Godzilla grabs the monster and blows nuclear blue fire down its throat. Same thing here. You get that feeling. You get that feeling of just movie magic with Godzilla Minus One. So go check it out in theaters, please. Go watch this movie December 1st in theaters. It's all in subtitles for people that don't like subtitles. I don't know why you're watching movies, but that doesn't change anything about the movie. It doesn't change anything about the performances. It is a fantastic goddamn movie. You need to go see Godzilla Minus One. If you like this movie review and you want to see more like this, I've done plenty of movie reviews this year. You can check them all out in this playlist right here.